call the meeting of, April 28th, 2015, to order tonight. Councilman Tolson will have our invocation, and then we'll be led by the Pledge of Allegiance by our 4-H. Everybody stand, please.
Join me in prayer, please. Lord, we thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for the sunshine. Thank you for the opportunity to come out and do the work for Lawrence County. Lord, we ask that you help us make good decisions, sound decisions, use wisdom, and in that decision making, we continue with our brotherly love for one another. Lord, we ask you watch over us as we leave here, take us each to our destination safely. It's in your name I pray. Amen.
All right, y'all go stand. Go to that. Yep, everybody goes. Just stand behind your sister. All right. Come on, guys. Everybody's gonna stand up there. Y'all will just stand on the back row, okay?
My name is Thomas Flint, and I'm president of the Ware Shoals 4-H Community Club.
My name is Emily Rogers, and I'm the president of the Lawrence River 4-H Series Club.
My name is Anna Leslie, and I'm president of the Lawrence Livestock 4-H Club.
My name is Joy Kirkman, and I'm president of the Lawrence County Triple H 4-H Club. My name is Marcus Green, and I'm a member of the Lawrence County Triple H 4-H Club.
My name is Rebecca McClain, and I'm a member of Lawrence County 4-H Club. My name is Kate Colby, I'm a part of the Triple A 4-H Club. My name is Audrey Hall, I'm a member of Triple A 4-H Club.
Glad to have y'all with us tonight. We'll ask you to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please follow along with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's okay. Yeah, I just didn't want to look. I wanted you all to get recognized. You did a good job.
I'll start tonight by, is the speaker on? I'll start tonight by saying Mr. Seegers is not with us. He's in Asheville. His daughter just gave birth to a 7.7 baby boy. Is that right, Betty?
Right. He just texted that called something.
So I know the Ernie's on cloud nine. But we're going to start tonight with approval of our agenda for our April 28, 2015 meeting. Do we have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second. We got a motion and a second. Do we have any additions?
Well, I'd like to add one for executive session. It's just a council matter of concern.
We got one addition by Ms. Anderson. All in favor, raise your right hand. That's 6-0. I'll ask for approval of our minutes for the April 14th, 2015 meeting. Do we have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion of approval for minutes for April 14th. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Does anybody have any discrepancies or any changes you want to make in the minutes? If not, we'll vote by the show of right hand. 6-0. The first thing on our agenda tonight would be Lawrence County Veterans Center Board Member Dr. Byron Parker, Ms. Bravo. I can't pronounce it. Sarita. German de Sasa. You want to come forward?
name's Mel Bravo. I'm actually the director of Lawrence County Mental Health. Approximately 20% of adolescents have a diagnosable mental health disorder. 1 in 10 youth in the United States experience a mental disorder severe enough to limit daily functioning in the family, in the school, and in the community setting. Untreated mental health issues may lead to poor school performance, school dropouts, strained relationships, involvement with the child welfare or juvenile justice systems, and substance abuse, as well as risky sexual behavior. Children with emotional or behavioral disabilities have the worst graduation rate of all students with disabilities. Nationally, only 40% of these students graduate from high school, compared with the national average, which is 76%. They're 3 times as likely as other students to be arrested before leaving school. They're twice as likely as other students with other disabilities, such as learning disabilities or developmental disabilities, to be living in a correctional facility, a halfway house, drug treatment facilities on the street, other locations. They're also twice as likely as students with other disabilities to become teenage mothers. Up to 85% of children in juvenile detention facilities have disabilities that make them eligible for special education services, yet only 37% have been receiving any kind of services in their school. Youth with emotional disturbances are 13 times more likely to have been arrested while in school compared to students with other disabilities. Studies evaluating the effectiveness of schools with positive behavioral interventions, such as school-based counselors, show reduced vandalism, reduced aggression and delinquency, and reduced alcohol, tobacco, and other drug use. They show reduced behavioral problems in areas such as hallways and bus rides, and they show improved academic achievement and school engagement. Currently, we have 8 school-based positions in both districts 55 and 56. However, among adolescents with mental health needs, 70% do not receive the care that they need. Due to massive budget cuts, there are only so many of us to go around. Last year alone, Lawrence County Mental Health completed over 1,000 screenings. This service is free to the community. However, it's not free to complete. Screenings alone cost the center an average of approximately $44,000 a year. And again, the service is free to the community. This year at the clinic, we started a program called Youth in Transition. The program works with adolescents starting 1 month before their 17th birthday and is used to ease the transition from a childhood diagnosis to an adult diagnosis. Sessions are 6 to 8 weeks long, and they focus on life skills through relapse prevention and healthy living, which is the goal of not only Lawrence County Mental Health, but Beckman as a whole. The earlier we get these kids involved in services, the lower the overall cost to the community through decreased unpaid visits to the emergency room and the jail or juvenile detention services. So our hope is that through ongoing education about their illness, along with continued therapy, they would be afforded more opportunity in a positive future that's filled with hope and prosperity. I'd like to also add a sidebar. Greenwood County Council committed to a yearly donation of $20,000. I'm asking that you find a way to raise the bar, have a healthy competition, if you will, and help us in our quest to help these youth as they transition. We're hosting a 7-county board along with Columbia representative meeting here in Lawrence County next Monday at 6 p.m. It would be an honor if at least one of you were able to attend. It can only help build a brighter future.
I'm Dr. Parker. I've been a family physician here for about 36 years, and I just want to remind you, you probably already know that there are no private psychiatrists in Lawrence, and there probably won't be for a long time. They're also, the psychiatrists in the surrounding areas very rarely take Medicaid patients. And you know, we have a lot of Medicaid patients in the county. So that leads the mental health problems to the primary care doctors, and some of the primary care doctors don't even take Medicaid. And the rest are left up to the mental health center. And the mental health center does take all comers. And it always seems like they avoid mental health problems and they are mental health counselors. So I think they do a very good job. By the way, we're 3 of the board members for the 7-county area that surrounds Greenwood, Amanda and Dr. Casas. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just here as an educator and as a witness. I work at Basic Middle School. I see students there. I also see a counselor, school-based counselor. The value of this program is incredibly powerful for those of us who work with kids. First, I'm amazed how many kids are in need of this counseling and how many needs are also on medication. I never really realized that until that course. And so a school-based counselor, many of our students have diagnoses that can be treated more effectively and efficiently in school. And then counselors can meet with students during school time rather than waiting for another time. It's less disruptive than parents taking care of the child to school or to go to counselor in another place. And it's also, parents often feel more comfortable and less intimidated coming to school to meet with counselors. Now, on occasion, there may be an urgent need for a student to discuss serious issues with someone with extended training in dealing with a crisis. And I have talked with the counselor herself today. It's amazing what she does with our kids, with our students. And as an educator, again, it is far better to deal with the students when they're young and get them the right path. And I cannot overemphasize the importance of this. And also, I'm just delighted that we, as a county, working with 6 other counties, and we get the feel from Columbia as well as from here, and have the example to give them back to the system so that they see what we are doing together here. The community matters, and they appreciate it for doing more with us.
My name is Amanda Suarez, and they asked me to serve on the board because I'm also an ESL teacher. I teach the kids who speak English as a second language. So they wanted someone to represent the other populations because mental illness affects everyone. So we would like your support.
We'll accept it as information. We got a tough budget year this year. We're spending right now over $2 million more than we got revenue coming in. So we got a tough budget year this year. I can't really promise anything right now. We'll accept it as information.
Yes, well, we also appreciate your involvement. It's not just a man, us, the Lawrence County community together, and just joining us in this time.
Thank you.
Well, I thank y'all.
Thank you.
Next thing on our agenda is Major Tyson, our jail administrator.
Thank you, Chairman, board member of the county council. Will that allow me to please?
Right.
There you go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Will allow me to address the council concerning our recent pre-audit certification. First, we would like to thank Sheriff Ricky Chastain for having faith in the staff of the detention center to operate a safe and secure facility for the people of Lawrence County. We are extremely fortunate to have a sheriff who understands the needs and requirements of operating the detention center properly. We would also like to thank Mr. Arnie Siegel, the Lawrence County Administrator, for all the help he has given us in improving the detention center. His knowledge has been essential in our ability to improve our operations for the people of Lawrence County. We would also like to thank the members of the county council for not only having faith in our ability, but for giving us the means to put proper staff in place to securely operate our county detention center. We promised the county council a year ago that we would improve the operation of the detention center, and we have done so. We have been informed by the South Carolina Department of Corrections, the National Institute of Corrections, and the Criminal Justice Academy that we are now operating one of the better operating detention centers within the state of South Carolina. We have just received PREA certification for our detention center. We are the third facility in the entire state of South Carolina to obtain the certification. We are the first small to medium jail to get this certification, and we are the first facility to get it on our first try without having to change any policies, procedures, or spend any money to alter our physical plan. PREA is a federal mandated law which is overseen and administered by the Department of Justice. PREA certification involves a complete facility audit. PREA certification shows that a detention center exemplifies our professional ability to stay updated with the most effective standards in today's correctional facilities across the United States. It demonstrates that the Sheriff's Office and Detention Center has been evaluated by guidelines and standards set forth by the federal government and has been able to pass this test. We would like to see that this accomplishment was achieved by the efforts of the entire staff at the Detention Center. And it should be noted that with the help of our program specialist, Deputy Scott Weeks, and our volunteer chaplain, Pastor Wayne Jones, who is present tonight, along with our Chief of Security, Captain Kathy Tucker, Training Lieutenant, Lieutenant Vera Lawson, and also our disciplinary program and classification system, which we have installed, we have been able to reduce our disciplinary infractions inside the detention center by 70%. A year ago, we were averaging 20 to 30 inmates with disciplinary separation at any given time. In the last 6 months, we have been averaging 5 to 6 inmates with disciplinary separation. This itself is a major accomplishment for our staff and truly shows dedication and devotion by the entire staff of Lawrence County Detention Center. Myself and Sheriff Ricky Chastain are extremely proud of our operation and our entire staff at the detention center. Thank you, sir.
I think we ought to give him a hand. You know, we talk about the detention center as people wonder why you spend taxes out there, but you got to have a detention center. You got to spend money on the detention center, and I certainly appreciate what has transpired at the detention center. Last time I was out there, I actually saw some of them smiling at each other. So I think Major Tyson is really doing a good job out there along with all of his help. And I thank you very much. Next thing is a resolution. Do we have anybody here from Emergency Medical Service? Mr. Bureau?
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of council. Hope everyone's doing okay. I'll be real brief. The American College of Emergency Physicians, otherwise known as ACEP, annually recognizes the invaluable services that emergency medical personnel provide on a daily basis. And they specify May 17th to the 23rd, 2015 as National Emergency Medical Services Week. Lawrence County EMS provides life-saving care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, dramatically improving the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury in our community. In honor of the dedicated men and women of Lawrence County EMS, I would like for County Council to recognize the week of May 17th as EMS Week in Lawrence County through this resolution. Thank you for your consideration and your continued support.
Thank you, Chad, and I'll ask for a motion for Resolution 15-10, National Emergency Medical Services Week. Do we have a motion?
Make the motion, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? I'd just like to say that I thank all our public safety for what they do. We'll vote now by show of right hand. All in favor? None opposed? That's 6-0. Next thing is resolution 1511, Peace Officers Memorial Month. Do we have anybody to address that?
Yeah, like 45 people.
It says, whereas the U.S. Congress and the President of the United States has designated May 15, 2015 as Police Officers Memorial Day and May 9th through the 15th as Police Officers Memorial Week. Whereas all government agencies in the nation are encouraged to designate a day, a week, or a month as tribute to our peace officers. I won't read it all, but it's kind of a crying shame to see what's going on in Baltimore today. And yes, all the looting and rioting, and we designated a police officer Memorial Week. All I can say is it's lack of respect for our public safety. But I'll entertain a resolution for 2015-11.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2015-11.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
We got a motion and a second. Does anybody have any discussion? We'll vote by a show of our right hand. See if they're ready. The next one is resolution 1512. It's a resolution the merger of uniform aluminum forgings into LLC BRAWO USA. Mr. Screwshank?
Yes, sir, this is the acknowledgement they are required to do with the county to acknowledge that the company Unifor Brass, Unifor Fittings has been around Orange County for a number of years. They're simply changing the name. They have merged into a new company called Bravo USA. And this is just an acknowledgement we would encourage and request favorable approval of the resolution acknowledging the change of the company. It affects nothing with regard to their vehicle tax or anything else.
It's basically just a change of name.
Just a name change.
Well, we'll entertain a resolution 1512. We'll ask for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept and adopt resolution 2015-12 concerning the Unifor Building LLC into Bravo USA.
Motion, we need a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Does anybody have any questions? No questions, we'll vote by the show of our right hand. 6-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next thing is, appointments to the Orange County Water and Sewer Commission, Mr. Jeff Field. You want to address that?
Well, the letter I think is in your packet. I'll go through those real quick. There are 3 that are up for standard reappointment. 2 are existing, so I guess you would say those are technically reappointments. One, Ms. Susan Curry from District 5 is up for reappointment for a 4-year term. And then Ted Davenport is up for reappointment for a 2-year term representing our municipal district. And then Mr. Phil Odell represents your district, Mr. Wood. He is to complete Patrick Jackson's term as he is moving on to a different commission or board. And so he is serving 2 years, but then will be up for reappointment in 2 years for a 4-year term. So sort of what we do every 2 years, we come before you to get part of them reappointed. They're on a staggered reappointment schedule. Any questions about any of them?
I just appreciate people coming forward and serving. This is a non-paying job. We have people helping out. Thank you, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Does anybody have any objection to all 5 of these at one time? Has anybody got one you want to vote on second? You hadn't, I'll ask for a motion to approve all 5 of these, and they'll be sent to the governor for his approval, for her approval.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to move we accept the recommendations for all 5 of these individuals. Speaking for District 5, Mr. Curry, I think is a great representative.
We got a motion, we got a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion and a second. We have any discussion? If not, we'll show by raising our right hand. 6-0. First reading ordinance 786. Ordinance to amend and rescind ordinance 347. I'll let Sandy address that. That's about our insurance policy. It's been ruled unconstitutional, and I'll let him address that. This will be first reading on that.
Mr. Chairman, the ordinance you have in front of you, ordinance 347 was enacted in 1992. At that time, the South Carolina Attorney General's office, through a formal opinion, determined that it was legal for counties to enter into agreements to pay employees a certain amount of money in lieu of them taking the insurance that is offered by the county. That has rocked along since that time until 2013, and the issue came up in an adjoining nearby county concerning whether or not the continuation of that program was constitutional. The issue revolves around a clause in the South Carolina Constitution that says that additional payments to governmental employees is not appropriate. The employee bonuses and things not governmental. That's probably simple, maybe an oversimplification of where it was went, but the Attorney General's office looked at this and said, going forward, it is not appropriate or legal. They rescinded the opinion that they rendered in 1992. It said that this practice must stop. Working with our Human Resource Department and our employment law attorneys, we crafted an ordinance to deal with several categories of people that are receiving this payment. And you'll notice in 2A of Ordinance 786 that basically it is saying that no new elections to take cash in lieu of insurance will be allowed. If this ordinance passes on first reading tonight, pending ordinance rule would come into effect, which basically would say that any new employee would not be entitled to take advantage of this program. Part B deals with the employees or participants or individuals who are currently receiving that payment. And it provides that if they are taking cash in lieu of participating in the group plan, that they can continue that election until the earlier of two events. One is the loss of health insurance coverage, having substantially equivalent benefits, qualifies as a participant for special enrollment in the county's group plan. Open enrollment it usually begins around October of each year. If they do not opt to participate in that plan, then the payment of cash in lieu of insurance will cease as of 11:59 p.m. on December 31st. So basically, you're giving a 6-month window of the phase out of an existing program that has now been determined to be unconstitutional. The third category deals specifically with elected officials such as council members. In the Attorney General's opinion, it was stated that council members of all categories were not allowed to accept payments. That this could be either an ethics violation or some other violation of your office as council members. And it said that any council member receiving this, that as of the first of the month, or the end of the month, after passage of the ordinance, if this ordinance passes in May, the end of May, or whenever the third meeting may be, the next meeting, the program ceases. The council members don't get the benefit of the phase-in that the other individuals receiving payments from the beginning. It's a pretty tough step, but based upon the current state of the law, again, Lawrence County did nothing wrong in 1992. I have read the opinions, in fact, both of the Attorney General's opinions rendered in the 1992 decision were requested by Lawrence County. So ironically, here we are today, where they had reversed what they told us was okay in 1992 is no longer okay. So, unfortunately, I would have to recommend council to remain on the legal side of things and to comply with the Constitution of the state of South Carolina and the laws of the state to pass Ordinance 786 on first reading. Now we have to answer your questions.
Thank you, Sandy. That's another one of those unfunded mandates from the state. I'll ask for a motion for first reading of ordinance 786.
So move, Mr. Chairman, for the first reading of 786.
So have a second. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, sir.
And I do too.
Yes, sir.
Dave?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to recognize Ms. Debbie Parker, our Human Resources, if she would come to the podium at this time. Ms. Parker, I don't mean to put you on the spot. However, in reference to 2B current employees other than council members, how many employees are we talking about? I believe you told me 37, is that correct?
There's 35 total, counting council members. Well, there's 3 council members.
So it'd be 32 employees.
And out of those 32 employees, Ms. Parker, how many of those have health insurance coverages other places?
All of them.
All of them have. And have we communicated this potential change in policy to these employees at this point?
We have not. We have letters ready to go out tomorrow after this one.
Okay. No further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Anderson?
Will you just stand there, David, a minute, please? I have a question regarding the expedience of this, that lasting 6 months. I think we need to see if we can get that done a lot sooner than that. I disagree with the policy. I think everybody would fall in place with some kind of insurance, and I think we need to be very proactive about making sure that they have it. And then as soon as we know that they have, we need to stop it right there, the payments.
Ms. Anderson, if I'm right, and Ms. Parker can certainly correct me if I'm wrong, the opportunity for an individual or employee to participate in the plan, especially the county plan, will not be open to them until October. That would be the earliest possible time from the county's perspective. Is that correct, Ms. Parker?
That's correct, but if I can interject something here.
Okay.
Every employee that receives the payment in lieu of insurance has to provide proof of coverage already.
That's what I thought, and so they should already have it.
Yes, ma'am. So terminating funding should be a non-issue unless they need to enroll in our plan. And if they do, then they haven't been truthful about having existing coverage.
And that's what I'm looking at.
And let me reiterate that the interpretation that the Florida Law Attorney and I are discussing this, crafting this, with regard to anybody other than council, is that the agreements that this department referred to, you've got insurance somewhere else, you signed the election form saying I'm covered.
Yes.
It's an annual agreement. So this will take it through the end of this.
I just think we're giving and we're adding to their pay unnecessarily because they knew this at the beginning, and I feel like we need to do something before then if we can. We keep talking about there's a shortfall in the budget, and I feel like that we need to make adjustments. We need to make adjustment beginning of the fiscal year and not in the middle of the year where they would, you know, have some kind of issue. If it started off at the beginning of the year, fiscal year with the pay that they're supposed to receive, it would go, I think, a whole lot better than starting in the middle of the year. I understand the ramification of what was expressed when they had the job, and I know they understand the ramification of what they said when they said they had it. But I think just prolonging this and the amount of money that we spend toward this is just a little too much.
And if I may reiterate, it's not just them stating they have proof, we have to have proof by card or letter from the provider.
Okay, and if they have it, I think it needs to be done before then.
I think we have a process to go through, and I think the process we got before us is about as fast as it can be done, especially with open enrollment not occurring till October.
You don't have to have, if you already have insurance, you don't have to wait to open enrollment.
Yeah, we got any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I want to step on Ms. Anderson's comments for 1 second and ask a question based on her comments. And I do want to follow up on, as this is written, in regards to item B, that is the general requirement. In other words, it's the benefits election, benefits out for December.
No. The Attorney General's not giving any guidelines as to when, other than the county council members, that should be this, upon passage. Some counties do not have this orders that policy. Orange County opted in 1992 to form orders, so in order to rescind the bill or amend it, we have to do it in the same amount of 3 readings of public hearing. But that language is basically, Mr. Johnson and I crafted that in the sense of trying to be as cognizant of the financial burdens and fairness, I guess, so it's not anything bad by the attorney.
I can appreciate that. Thank you. That's kind of what I was thinking, though, wasn't sure. And then I want to make a statement based on this councilman and Ms. Parker as well. Is this will be for some employees, this will feel like for some employees a cut in pay, and the amounts. It's not. We're not going to talk about the amounts of each employee at this point, but I will say that it will feel like a substantial amount for some employees. And I want to make a statement that this is not something that we as a council or Ms. Parker's office or Mr. Seeger's office has come up with. This is what we send based on that, opinion. So, excuse me, the attorney general's opinion. So, and with that being said, Mr. Chairman, I think it leaves Ms. Anderson to, I guess, ask for a revision for this handbill.
That's a will county.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the legalities and also the financial burden, as Mr. Tolleson was saying. And I know if it can be done in a legal way, because I know we're up against what the ruling is there, but I don't know if is there any set amount of time that has to be given for those changes, or is it just completely up to the council?
That falls in your court.
Okay.
Y'all can set that and have it wanted again. The reasoning behind that was to provide the opportunity for the open enrollment period to get an employee to that point, even if something may have happened in their marital status that changed and they didn't have that coverage, or at least they would have that opportunity, whether they chose our plan or some other type of coverage. And the secondary part is if mentioned Mr. Collison was, simply in looking at it from a fairness standpoint of adjusting someone's money on a rather sudden basis. Gives them time to plan. But as far as the legality of it, as far as what the Attorney General said, it's unconstitutional. So, you get to say when.
We got a motion and a second on the table. All in favor, raise your right hand. 5-0.
You have to call for a posted vote.
You have to call for a opposing vote. I oppose. And the basis for my opposing, that I would like that particular Part B to be changed.
You putting that in motion?
We have 2 more readings.
Okay. And I need to work, get that into a motion.
Chairman, one more question. Ms. Parker, will you, I think you said open enrollment was in October, is that true?
Yes,
Oh,
October 1st to the 31st.
Thank you, so the end of October. Thank you.
It goes from 1 to 30. It goes from October 1st to October 30th.
Next thing on our agenda tonight is first reading ordinance 789, ordinance to amend and modify Lawrence County Ordinance 625 regarding distribution of fees in lieu of tax received. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Have a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion and second. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, this is to modify the fee in lieu agreement. On 789, and this is based on the amount received and retained distributed to the Lawrence County Development Corporation, am I correct?
That's right.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to discuss I'd like to bring in a discussion of the total amount for that before we vote on the motion.
It's basically cut it from 360,000 to 300,000.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to amend that motion, and that's the reason I want to make an alternate proposal before we vote on the motion. And I understand this motion needs to be passed and go through along with the budget as part of the budget process. But you and I have had some discussion, and I've made some calls, looked at some numbers, and I think that we're reaching a little deep there, percentage-wise in that department. Given the fact that, as I understand it, there's been some additional cuts in other departments to help balance our budget. I would like to put that dollar amount back out for discussion. Mr. Cruikshanks, maybe you can help me in doing that. Is that something we need to do as an amendment, or is that something we can do? Just like the use of Chairman, is that something we do both?
This is first reading, you do it on second reading.
You can offer an amendment to the motion that's on the floor prior to the vote. The motion, your amendment would be voted on first, and then the main motion. So if you're asking to amend, essentially, I'm assuming from what you're saying, is to aid the amount being reduced to 363. You can make a motion to amend that. Receives a second, and that would be voted on prior to voting on the other motion. Unless Mr. Nash accepts your amendment.
I would like to table it, and it be discussed during our budget session. Since it's part of a budget item, I feel like, I don't agree with it, but I feel like it's a budget item, that it should be discussed within the budget, and I like what to be tabled and discussed in the budget.
Motion to table is the primary motion takes precedent over any other motion on the floor. Motion to table, we have to have a second and a vote before anything can go forward, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, do we have a motion, a second on their motion, on the motion to table?
Motion to table because it's not a budget item, it is a resolution.
But motion to table is proper.
That was the first year it was put in, it was done after we had basically finished the budget. And there it was in the budget. And I got the smart remark that, well, it was there for you to see. And I said, well, but
I don't do
it
that.
came in late.
I don't let you. I don't recall what Michael disagreed with.
Point of clarification, we got a motion to table that you will have a second.
There is no second, it dies for lack of second.
It dies for lack of second. But,
Back to Thompson.
back to Mr. Thompson, you can ask Mr., you'd have to ask Mr. Nash for amendment with it.
Or he can make a secondary motion of his own.
Mr. Chairman, I want to say that.
You'd have to ask for an amendment with it.
No, he can make a motion to be voted up or down. It's a secondary motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add that one point of clarification here. The reason I did not, and I feel like others probably did not second the table is because this ordinance needs to move with the budget. But
it's not part of it.
It's in the budget.
It is now.
Except later on.
But I'm not gonna amend the motion. But at second reading, I'm gonna ask that we cut this one out $10,000 instead of $60,000. And I will say that as my plan, unless I can see numbers that will provide me a better opportunity. I say, Mr. Chairman, the reason is we have several thousands of jobs in this community because of the efforts. I feel fairly comfortable because of the efforts of the county council and the groundwork we've laid, and because of the efforts of the LCDC. I do agree, Mr. Chairman, that they need to reach into their pockets just like the rest of the departments are gonna have to do this time to help cut the deficit that the county's having to pull out of our fund balance to cut them. But I don't agree with that amount. I think that amount is a little more than I think they should be there. So with that said, I will vote on the motion to get to the second reading.
In discussion, Stuart?
We'll go from there.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I'd just like to say, I mean, we're going to have to make cuts across the board. We've got around a $2 million deficit, so we need to start finding where to cut. That's all I've got.
An explanation, Mr. Cruikshank. Is this not a budget item?
It's an amendment to an ordinance.
It's amendment to an ordinance, okay.
It's not a budget item.
Okay, and the money's not coming out of our budget?
The money, as it is written now, the money will go to the general fund of the county. In that sense, it does deal with the budget. Because the money goes to the general fund according to the ordinance.
Well, I'm totally in disagreement of reducing that budget at all, because every time everyone get ready to run for office, they say they for economic development. They want to make sure everybody have a job so their family can live and survive. And our county has been prosperous over the last several years, working with LCDC, trying to bring jobs here into the county. And I'm happy, we're happy. But there are a lot of counties within South Carolina who's very disappointed because they do not have the type of people we have working for them. And I think it's detrimental to the citizens of this county to reduce the amount of money that we put out for economic development, to make sure we improve the quality of life for all the individuals here. It's a detrimental act.
I'd like to ask you one question. Have you reviewed that budget?
Yes, I have.
The Lawrence County Development Corporation budget?
Yes, I have.
Dave?
No comment, Mr. Chairman.
I've got one more comment, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to just say, I believe it's detrimental to the free market and to people in the community to take more money from them to put into programs and development. I look at this lost, I want to go back to this lost option, the local option sales tax. From what I'm figuring, we're taking a $2.8 million a year out of our local economy. People in Greenville don't have that tax. People in Spartanburg don't have that tax. We got Lawrence County citizens going to those counties to buy products because they're at a cheaper cost than here in Lawrence. Let Lawrence compete. That's all I've got, Mr. Chairman.
My justification for doing this, the county is a related party to the LCDC because we furnish tax money from the county, and that's in their audit. And this is a time when our budgets are being cut in all our departments. We've asking people to do things. We've been overspending for the last 3 or 4 years. It comes from, we losing $1 million a year from the state of South Carolina. It's basically just asking them to tighten their belt a little bit. We can change it back in 1 year, but we're just trying to ask them to change a little bit. But I'd like to mention a few items in this budget. We got 3 employees in this department. They got a budget of $533,000, 3 people. No other department in the county with 3 people has got a budget of $533,000. No other department in this county pays all medical, dental, vision, health insurance in this county. The LCDC pays the employees 100%. 100% of their insurance. They don't even pay a part. No other employee, no other department in this county pays an employee $1,000 a month for car allowance. That's $12,000 a year for car allowance to drive your car to work. I also saw in a couple of readouts, there's $90,000 a new FILO coming in to the LCDC for revenue. Why do we need staff mileage? Staff mileage, $2,400 a year, when we paying an employee $1,000 a month to drive his car and furnishing the other car to drive. Who's getting staff mileage? Is it the clerk? Golf tournament. It's not my responsibility to pay for a golf tournament. I know they reimburse some on their golf tournament, but they're not reimbursed 100%. It's not my business. It's not I'm not supposed to pay for the golf tournament. Legal expense. We paying an additional $21,000 legal expense because of duplication. Kitchen supplies, $300 a year. Contract labor, that hadn't been explained to me yet, but it's $20,500 a year. Every meeting the LCDC board has, they have a catered meal. That's $4,000 a year. Site maintenance at Owen Park, $10,800 a year. The only thing up there is the driveway and the cut grass on it, $10,800 a year. They may do a little landscaping, I don't know. Utilities, Owens Park, $6,000 a year for a sign. Rent on a building that half of it belongs to this county. The county furnished the money, they built on to the LCDC, the Chamber of Commerce's building down there, double the size of it, and still pay the Chamber of Commerce $37,200 a year rent. Upstate Alliance, pay Upstate Alliance $35,000 a year. And Lawrence County furnishes all the physical services for the payroll with reduction for the insurance, FICA, medical, and retirement. The county don't get any fees for this. That's why I feel like they've got room to cut. I call for vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
So this is voting for what, Joe? Cut it
Cut $60,000. All opposed? 4-2. Right now, we facing, like I said, we spending $2 million more right now than we got coming into this county. We got to do something about it, whether it be layoffs, furloughs, or whatever. We're just asking people to tighten up a little bit. That's all I'm doing, is asking the LCDC to tighten up a little bit. We won't have an administrative report tonight, because Mr. Sears is not here, but Ms. Walsh, have you got anything to add? It's 6:30, we'll have a 15-minute period for public comment. If you got something you want to say, come forward, please. Give us your name and tell us what you're mad about.
My name's Kate Shaw. I'm the 4-H agent here in Lawrence County. I'm not mad about anything. That's the difference. But I just want to thank y'all for y'all's support throughout the years. This is my 8th year here in Lawrence County as a 4-H agent. As you can see, we brought a small grouping of our 4-H program here tonight to enjoy and see y'all interact and see y'all run a business meeting. And they're trying to mimic the same thing in their club meetings using parliamentary procedure and understand it and how difficult it can be as well. We also have numerous parents, several parents and volunteers who are actually most of them are club leaders. We have 7 state clubs here a year that meet year-round, along with tons of other programs and projects and school enrichment that we're doing in Lawrence County. And we just wanted to give y'all a special thanks and a shout out for having us here tonight.
Thank you. Anybody else? We close, wait a minute, we got one more thing. Ms. Anderson had a discussion. Something she wanted to put on the agenda. Yes, it is,
I said, that's a session matter. It was an executive session matter.
Oh, it's executive session? I thought you just said put it on the agenda. Well, I'll open for comments from council members. Mr. Dawson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do want to thank everyone for coming out today. I see we got law enforcement in the house and in force. Given the peace officer Memorial Month, I certainly appreciate them coming out and show support for both our county and our council. I know that's hard work. That includes the detention deputies under Major Tyson and the administrative staff, including both those facilities. Led by Jay Jackson, hiding in the back for some reason. Also, Mr. Chairman, Emergency Medical Services Week, Mr. Burrell, thank those guys. We know it's hard work out there. They see and face things just like the law enforcement officers do that I'm glad I don't have to see and face. And when I need the help, I know that each of those entities are on their way as well. And that would include Mr. Avery and his staff hidden in the dungeon, as I like to speak. I think they're top-notch staff, and I think they deserve recognition as well in Emergency Medical Services Week. They are key to both those two entities and the fire service. So we appreciate our public service here in the county, along with our staff. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Knight?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to thank all our county employees. It makes our job a lot easier. And I'm glad we got some light showed on this ordinance 789 because it was started as a budget item, and then I found out that the only way to change it, come up with an ordinance, which is explanation, I feel like we got that straight. Just hope we'll be able to come up with a budget that will work. Those people in Warren County don't need to be taxed anymore with new taxes. We're gonna keep it, we're already building a rainy day fund for bills. That's been stacking up, and people are the one that's paying that. Sometimes takes 29% to help pay debts too. That was voted on the referendum, 100% of that. Legislature allowed us years ago. All of that. I think that helped some. I'm just proud of the progress that Kevin's making. It's all about location. We lucky, fortunate to have areas that people want to move to. And hope we continue to have lucrative places that they want to come build a plant. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Jones?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I also want to thank our law enforcement and our EMS. Seeing what's going on in Baltimore right now, I look at our community and think, we're an example of what law enforcement can be, and I just continue to pray for Baltimore and the officers in Baltimore and the people in Baltimore that they come together and resolve that situation. My great-grandfather, he was a Clinton police officer for 34 years, and he had an incident one time. There was a B&E, and he went in and was actually shot at, and he shot back. And I know law enforcement has the most dangerous job, and we just appreciate what you do for our community so much. Also, I just wanted to mention too, videos for tonight's meeting and every meeting are posted at lawrencesc.org. So please, if you want to watch this meeting tonight, please go there and check it out. And that's all I have for tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Sanders?
The Senate Finance Committee finished the project of getting the budget prepared to give to the full Senate. They're supposed to be receiving it on May the 2nd. The local government fund come out of the Finance Committee the same as it did in the House. And we need to call Danny Burden, each one of us, and let him know the problems we are facing in this coming budget. And the full Senate should get it by May the 2nd. So I would appreciate each council member giving Danny a call. Thank you very much.
Mr. Pete?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. I don't know where the General Assembly is with the roads issues. If someone could explain that to me, Mr. Rushing, or you, Mr. Chairman, I'm not familiar with where that process is at the State House. And the second comment I have is there are a lot of department managers here. We are about to enter into a budget workshop, and I would appreciate their attendance and input into the budget workshop, at least as an onlooker for this evening.
I think the road proposal passed the House, but it passed with an amendment where it would be up to the county council also to take the roads tonight. Is that right, Rob?
That's correct. That's correct. And I haven't heard it where it is in the Senate and whether they're going to adopt the same amendment that the House had yet. I know that they had some preliminary discussions on it, but I'm not sure where they're at.
Thank you.
I haven't got anything else, so, we got a item in executive session. This is what kind of matter of time?
Council member concern.
We can call that, then.
Either have to be an employment matter, or legal briefing, or
Well, it's personnel. It was a personnel matter.
employment.
We got one employment matter in executive session, and after we return, I appreciate everybody being here tonight, and after we return, we dismiss our council meeting. We're going to start budget meeting. Appreciate everybody coming.
Chairman, I move to go into executive session.
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor, raise your right hand. We're out of executive session, we're at a personal matter with no action taken. Has anybody got anything else to come before council? I did some changes on the committee assignments. Mr. Ed was on 3 or 4 committees, and I done some shuffling around of some names, and some people might be on. But I wanted to change it in case we have to have a meeting, and when we have an election and get a new member, I'll sit down and do it again. If there's nothing else to come before council, we stand adjourned.
I would just like to, I think I made the assertion when you passed out this the first time regarding the Committee on Budget and Finance. And I see when you redid it, you left my name off, but when the appropriate time comes, I would like for you to reconsider placing me on the Budget and Finance Committee.
Well, you wasn't on the one I shuffled around. I shuffled around several names on it. But it's up to me where to put the name.
I understand that.
Anything else come before council? If it's not, we stand adjourned.